crashes involving pedestrians are on the rise across Texas. According to the Texas Department of Transportation, those went up 25% from 2020 to 2024. TxDOT says October is the deadliest month of the year for pedestrians in our state due to fewer daylight hours and reduced visibility, making it harder for drivers to see pedestrians and keep them safe.
Plus, we know so many Austin families are preparing to hit the sidewalks for trick-or-treating or maybe heading out for some Halloween celebrations tomorrow. So drivers really need to be on the lookout for pedestrians in unlikely places, maybe even more so than usual. So joining us for some more context on these numbers and this especially important conversation this time of year, Jeff Barker with TxDOT. Thank you so much for being here.
Yeah, I appreciate y'all having me on to share some safety tips and really get this important message out.
So it's not just Halloween, it's also the hours of darkness this time of year. Talk about what drives October being so dangerous.
Yeah, obviously it leads up to Sunday with daylight saving time where we fall back and we get that extra hour of sleep, but then we end up losing those daylight hours. And then the October month, you're kind of increasingly losing some more of those daylight hours as well. So, we tend to see more of these incidents occur when there's more darkness. And also, as we hit these winter months as well, once we fall back on Sunday, you're going to have people during their evening commutes that otherwise during the spring and summer would be driving maybe at home at 5, 6, 7 o'clock at night and it's light outside. It's now going to be dark, but those pedestrians that are out there might have the same type of patterns and routines that they're going through. So just an extremely important time of year, like you guys mentioned, to get the word out to make sure that we're keeping everybody safe.
Yeah, and it's not just this time of the year. We highlighted those really disturbing numbers a few moments ago about the crashes going up in recent years. Why do you think that that's happening?
Well, I think it's just a matter of making sure that we're getting the word out to people to remind them that these pedestrians are out there in a lot of instances, and there's so many ways that we can make safety a shared responsibility, and that we can make sure we're keeping everybody safe. And for drivers, that I think that first and foremost starts with making sure that you're being aware of pedestrians. And I heard you guys say a second ago, even in unlikely places. That's especially important with Halloween tomorrow, especially important with school safety. We talked about that in August leading up to the kids coming back to school. So that's a really important one as well. And then for pedestrians, there's lots of other safety tips, that I'm sure we can go through as well, but making sure that you're doing everything you can to be seen, you're crossing at designated crosswalks and only at intersections, because the majority of these pedestrian crashes actually happen away from intersections. That's why obviously the intersections and crosswalks are designed to keep people safe. So, actually less than 20% of those crashes actually happen at an intersection. So again, really important reminders.
That's great perspective, especially we want to stick with crosswalks given what happened in Kyle today, the situation Will just told us about. But we also know TxDOT talked to some families who over the years have lost loved ones to pedestrian crashes that actually both had to do with sidewalks. Real quickly here, we want to hear a little bit from some of those families that TxDOT spoke with. We'll tell you first about 14-year-old Alexei Bauereis. He was killed in a pedestrian crash. He was 14 years old. He was a talented and accomplished dancer with Austin Ballet. He was walking through a crosswalk here in Austin when an oncoming driver failed to yield at one of those yellow flashing traffic signals, and he was killed. We want to hear from his parents here.
He had a great life ahead of him. He was a gentleman. He was a godly man, and he made a difference in our community. And this guy is not here with us anymore. And it is one of the greatest losses our community has. Be safe, pay attention to the pedestrians, pay attention to people who are in crosswalks.
So devastating to hear from her. And TxDOT also talked to the family of U.S. Air Force Major Brenna Cole Pickrell, a 31-year-old security expert at Joint Base San Antonio Lackland. She was jogging with her dog Daisy just last fall when she was hit by a driver while in a San Antonio area crosswalk.
I have had sorrow, but never this level of sorrow. Our world is different. We do have a huge hole in our hearts. This is the deepest hurt. Our family tree has a huge branch completely missing. Brenna's youthful death will always be a raw wound in our hearts.
Heartbreaking stories from both of those families. And so thank you to your agency for sharing portions of those conversations. I think that puts it into perspective, right?
Of course.
We can talk about safety all day long, but when you hear from a family who's had that kind of loss.
No, absolutely. And we really appreciate those families sharing those stories as well, because both of those instances are cases that were, otherwise kind of routine, situations that were happening, kind of normal, I guess, day in the life situations that we all go through. And, particularly hits home for me when I hear some of the ones about families and kids. I mean, I walk my son to school every day near our house in Hutto. So, we go through crosswalks and we, talk about those safety tips, and we have those conversations at home about, hey, sometimes this time of year it's dark outside. Let's make sure we're carrying the flashlight while we're walking to school, and let's make sure when we stop at the crosswalk that we're looking at the other driver too. We're trying to make eye contact. That's another safety tip that we share, just to make sure that they see you. And I'm walking a 6-year-old to first grade, so who knows if he can, he may be able to see the driver, but the driver may not be able to see him. And that goes for all of us, as pedestrians and drivers alike. It's a shared responsibility, as we say.
And what are some of those other practical things that people should keep in mind, especially on tomorrow when it's Halloween? People will be out trick-or-treating dressed in costume. What are some of those things that you want people to take home with?
Yeah, we share a lot of the tips, like if it's possible to put reflective gear somewhere with you, maybe even if it's not on the costume. We know kids are particular about the costume.
Right.
maybe you put it on the trick-or-treating bag or something. And if that's not possible, then we understand, but carry a flashlight with you. Make sure that you're traveling in groups. And again, as we just mentioned, make sure that you're having those conversations, because I know we'll be out and about, on the streets in our neighborhood trick-or-treating tomorrow, and we want to make sure that everyone has a fun, but most importantly, safe Halloween.
So important. I've also heard glow sticks, another fun way for kids.
And kids
to
love those.
Be lit up.
Yeah.
So there's so many different ways, and we know that TxDOT has a lot of this information on its website as well. So we encourage you to head there. But Jeff, thank you so much for the context, the reminder. It's something that I think we can easily glaze over and think we know these tips, but then of course these families are such a testament that we need to be reminded.
Yeah, absolutely. Appreciate y'all letting us share the message.
Yeah, thank you so much. We also want to remind you too, KXAN investigators just last year dug into the enforcement of a new state crosswalk law. It's known as the Lisa Torrey Smith Act. It went into effect actually in 2021, and it makes it a crime to kill or hurt a person in a crosswalk. Statewide data shows more drivers are being arrested and prosecuted for breaking this law, but as our Arzo Dost and our team found out, some worry that there are challenges impacting the enforcement of this law. You can watch that full investigation in the investigative section of our website, KXAN.com.